The Apprentice, made in 2024 by Ali Abbassi, introduces us to the origin story of Donald Trump and his formative personal and professional partnership with Roy Cohn, who teaches the young realtor how to excel in the cutthroat world of New York City's corridors of power. A world more cartoonishly inhumane than Gotham itself, and with more Machiavellian scheming than the Florentine Republic of the 16th century. Here's a list of 4 things that I wanted to draw people's attention to in the film. When a young Donald Trump goes around collecting rent at his father's residential complex in Coney Island, he has an extended conversation with a woman who lives at apartment number 1802. In the year 1802, through a popular vote, Napoleon Bonaparte was elected first consul for life, effectively making him the supreme ruler of what would become a French empire. This position would grant him autocratic control. Trump and Napoleon are connected in terms of what they represent historically and in terms of the perceived psychology of the two men in the popular imagination. Like Napoleon, Trump would emerge from the fringes of the nobility to become the most powerful man in the nation. Both were considered outsiders by the elite that they would come to rule, being from Corsica and Queens respectively. However, through sheer determination, an awareness of the power of image and myth, and an insight into how the common man thinks, both Trump and Napoleon would reach the supreme height of political power. Both Trump and Napoleon, by flagrantly disregarding the status quo conventions of their nation's constitutions and asserting themselves as emperor-like figures, would earn the ire of the respective liberal elites of each man's epoch.
You are
for
really
Memphis.
obnoxious.
I'm not obnoxious, but I am.
Additionally, Trump and Napoleon are both associated with an inferiority complex. An inferiority complex related to height or stature is even called a Napoleon complex. Trump, in reality and in the film, is clearly overcompensating for some perceived shortcoming. We can see that his ambition, his outlandish behaviour, and his competitiveness appear to be rooted in a lack of self-worth, possibly because his father constantly belittles him. Trump wanting to have the biggest tower or biggest crowd is evidently connected to his internal feelings of inadequacy, as is his juvenile name-calling,
Little Marco, Little Marco,
his boastfulness, and his obsession with the appearance of himself and others. When Trump falls asleep watching Nixon's resignation speech and wakes up to see Gerald Ford coming into office, we can see a poster for the film Citizen Kane on the wall. I can't find a clip or even an image for this moment. It is 29 minutes into the film. Apparently, Citizen Kane is Trump's favourite film in real life. However, there is also a quite obvious thematic connection. The rise of fictional media tycoon Charles Foster Kane, played by Orson Welles, mirrors the rise of Donald Trump depicted in the film. Both would discover that no amount of money can replace family, friends, and personal connection, or provide the emotional fulfillment that we naturally crave as human beings. Citizen Kane presents the pursuit of fame, fortune, and power as morally corrupting, and therefore critiques the shallowness of the American dream. Abbassi seems to be making a similar critique throughout the film. When Donald and Ivana are sitting together in the chalet in Aspen, the tune playing is called Beautiful Dreamer, a song by Stephen Foster. I do not have footage or even an image for this scene, however it takes place immediately after Donald interrupts her photo shoot and then slips over, about 53 minutes into the film. Stephen Foster's music is associated with the antebellum South. The imagery in his songs evokes a nostalgia for an idealized view of plantation life in the South, making them popular cultural symbols of the Confederacy. The use of the song in the film is communicating to the audience that Trump's romantic ideal is connected to the sort of racist nostalgia that Stephen Foster's music represents. Also, like Trump, Foster became a symbol of white supremacist nostalgia despite being from the Yankee North. Perhaps, as is the case with the use of the song Fantasy Boy by Baccarat in the film, the song is about Trump being a fantasist. Maybe he is the beautiful dreamer. As the film moves chronologically into the era of digital video, the cinematography changes to become more artificial. The beginning of the film is very soft and filmic, but as Trump becomes a well-known media personality in the public eye, the images of the film become more staged, saturated, and televisual. The image quality and colour appear to be distinctly more digitized than before, and there are examples of light and colour becoming distorted in a way that makes it seem that there was a problem with the camera settings. This shift in visual style, motivated by real-world technological changes, reflects Trump's increasing artificiality. The height of his artificiality is just before his brother's death, and this is when the image quality is most digitally corrupted. Often in this part of the film, characters are on TV or lit for a TV appearance or in the presence of cameras. It's a very creative method of visual storytelling.
Woo! And that little boy whom nobody liked grew up to be Roy Cohn.
Whoa!